in Wilmington, North Carolina, right at the Intracoastal, and we're in one of these bands. This is about as nasty as it's been. We had some bands like this last night, and then the eyewall this morning, we were not on TV. It was a dark and raucous night at the hotel. And
what is good, YouTube? It is your boy Coast once again, reporting from lovely Virginia. They said that Hurricane Florence was going to devastate the state, and there was so much hype around it. And I thought this apartment would be like flooded or something like that, or destroyed. So, thankfully it's not. Just grateful to God for that. But yeah, it's been a crazy few days. The Weather Channel got caught basically faking the effects of the wind and the hurricane for views, and people wonder why we don't trust the media. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I couldn't believe it when I saw that clip either. Yeah. But anyway, it's the hurricane. Just pray for the souls of people that died. And the people that lost their homes. That's crazy. It devastated mainly the Carolinas, but I think we got a tornado over in like Western Virginia. So that sucks. I mean, but are you serious? But yeah, it's like for people that I heard some strange stories, man. I mean, like, I saw I told you about the weatherman. You saw that weatherman clip. The weatherman's all struggling against the wind. Oh no. Yeah, and turns out it's fake as hell. But anyway, I heard some story about like some lady and her child died when a tree fell on her house in the hurricane. I'm just like, lady, you had so long to evacuate. Like, come on. Like, they warned you about this hurricane days in advance, and you just sat there with your kid. You have no one to blame but yourself. I mean, like, situations like that, I'm just like, I just can't. I can't feel sorry for you. I can't. I mean, like, how is someone gonna warn you over and over again, and then you take no action? Oh, I'm just gonna wait it out here. Like, no, get out of the city. Like, they have an evacuation warning for a reason, because this is probably going to be a devastating event, and it was. Thankfully it wasn't. I don't think it was as catastrophic as they were predicting, but it because it did calm down to a Category 2 when it came ashore. Right before it came ashore, and but it was still a devastating hurricane. It was still pretty bad. Um, Yeah, and people like that, like, I'm just like, how can I feel sorry for you at all? I can't. I mean, you had your choice to make, and you didn't make the right choice. You know, and it's unfortunate that her child had to pay the price as well. Yeah, it's just kind of a bummer. But what can you do? I mean, you warn these people, you warn them, and they don't want to do it. What are you gonna do? But anyway, on the more familiar topics. I mean, it's just one thing after another with the whole. I don't even. Politics is just something. This is why I stopped talking about politics for a while, because on this YouTube channel, because it's just such an exhaustive topic, and everyone's talking about politics, but it's hard to avoid now. Especially with just so much going on, you know, with the Kavanaugh hearings and all that, and some lady, of course, coming out of the woodwork and saying, "Oh my God, like he raped me 36 years ago," and I'm just like, really? You're gonna wait 36 years or so for to come out to all of a sudden come out and be like, "Oh yeah, he raped me," conveniently timed right when he's about to get confirmed as a Supreme Court judge. Um, I mean justice. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just come out. How much do you think the Democrats are paying her? Honestly, I want your opinion in the comments. How much do you think she's getting paid by the Democrats to do this? Um, and the same goes for see, this is what comes to mind when I think about these Me Too virtue signaling movements and all that, and all these so-called feminists, you know, whining about their pain as women and blah 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 and injustice and equal rights. I'm like, look, there are things men go through that you will never have to go through, that we don't complain about, we don't talk about, because we're men, and we're just expected to be a man and just keep going and endure, and be strong. That's we have to be, because women can't be. I mean, it's the truth. So we just sort of deal with it. But oh yeah, women, um, they have so many more advantages, and like I always say, like being born a woman is like living life on easy mode, you know, until you get later down in your life, and you start to realize, oh yeah, well, I need you know money and resources and and all that, and who has that but a man? you and then but by then you've already hit the wall and all that. And right now I'm going over all these MGTOW talking points, and I don't really want to get into MGTOW. I respect the hell out of them for starting a conversation about men's issues, but I'm not really full MGTOW. I agree with a lot of their sentiments and ideas, but some some of the really crazy MGTOWs way out there, like, yo, let's exterminate women and clone men. Yeah, no, no, sorry, but I do agree with them on some issues. Um, kind of on the fence when it comes to that. But yeah, I understand perfectly now when they why there are this is Exhibit A as to why there are men's rights activists, and these MGTOW groups, because we have these women who could come out of nowhere and destroy a man's reputation just by saying, "Oh, he raped me," and that's it. That's all they got to say, and your career is done. Your reputation is tarnished. Because everyone will just listen and believe to some crying woman on the stand. And it's crazy. You know, and the thing is, no one, absolutely no one, is fooled by this Kavanaugh hearing. No one with any sense, that is. I mean, this woman, whatever her name is, Blaze or whatever. Um, I'm not fooled by it. This is just complete political, completely political. And the Democrats just need to give up. Just give up. He's going to be confirmed. Um, but they're gonna try. They're gonna try and do everything they can just to be like, well, he's not a good person. He sexually assaulted this woman, and and like he shouldn't even be nominee. His character is called into question and whatever. They're gonna try and screech their way through this. To autistically screech their way through it, and it's not gonna happen. I mean, Kavanaugh. If this was really serious, this would have been taken care of like decades ago. don't wait 36 years. No, come on. And then of course, this all ties back to Bill Cosby. And I never believed any of those women. I don't care how many came forward. Oh, yes, Bill Cosby, he did this 40, 30 something years ago, and now I'm just going to come out and say it because he's famous and he's, I don't know, he wants to retire now and, and live his life, in peace. So, I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I never believed those women, and I thought it was just absolutely sad, and that they put that man through that, and each one of those women, um, I wish them nothing but misfortune. Honestly, I mean, they'll get their justice. Yeah, but, justice and karma comes to all of us, but it's absolutely ridiculous that a man can have his reputation sullied just by the accusation of someone coming up and saying, "Oh my God, he raped me," no proof. Uh, 36 years later, 36 years later too, um, and then people will still be like, "Oh, you poor thing." Like, no, anyone with sense does not believe a word she is saying. So I don't believe a word she's saying, and I don't think a lot of American people do. But anyway, you know, moving on from that, and getting back into more of the milk toast subjects like Star Wars, away from the dirty world of politics and the EU invoking Article 13, even though the guy that penned it had no idea what it meant or whatever. Star Wars, I haven't. I don't know. I've been wondering whether or not I wanted to do some collabs with some people. So I'm gonna be starting up that again. Starting up my usual uh, video topics of talking about Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy, Disney, and how they are basically just the corporate parasite, the Borg, if you will, of the entertainment industry. uh, how they're just assimilating everything, and then when it's no longer useful, they assimilate more. You know, I personally think my opinions on Disney. I mean, they've gotten too big. Uh, Star Wars is basically dead. Um, I mean, I'm playing SOTOR and that's it. And after that, that's it. I'm going to continue to push for the EU. Uh, But besides that, there's hardly anything else to say. I mean, like, they haven't come out um, with any new conspiracies against Star Wars Expanding Universe members yet. I mean, I'm interested. I'm at a point where I'm interested in actually doing something to about the EU, and I want to collaborate with some people. If you guys know any 3D animators, if you guys know any animators in general, I have a project in mind, um, and I think that um, it'll do wonders for the preservation of the EU. I mean, any kind of talent. I mean, you got my Twitter. If you know any talent, if you know anyone I could collaborate with or have a discussion with about what we can do to preserve the EU, um, I mean, you're more than welcome to shoot me a DM on Twitter. Um, all right, it's your boy Kos. Long live the EU. I mean, I want to make like an animated series or something like that, something to that effect. But I'm not good at doing things by myself. I mean, I respect the hell out of people that do it on their own, even though it takes forever. But I want it to be kind of a regular thing. Um, Anyway, it's your boy Coast. Just letting y'all know how I feel about this whole thing, about what's going on, what's going on with Star Wars and politics and all that. But it's a crazy world out there, man, and it's gonna get even crazier in the next few years. Um, Companies are blaming their customers instead of taking responsibility. That's the whole world now. No one wants to take responsibility for themselves, you know, and no one wants to take responsibility for their own actions and for their own shortcomings. They want to blame the world, everyone except themselves, and that's got to stop. It's your boy Coast. Peace.